Yeah, let's get the show on the road. So if you have your blocks, have them nearby so that they're accessible. And we're gonna start lying on our back. Oh yeah, I want you to feel the top of your pelvis just tip toward the earth, kind of shaking out your hips. Take a breath, a cleansing breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Walk your shoulder blades together. You can have your arms palms up, your hands palms up, and release your legs nice and long on the mat. Good. Now I want you to take your right hand to your belly, your left hand to the center of your chest, and close your eyes. Make sure your chin is tipped a little bit more down towards your chest, and notice how that feels in your cervical spine and your neck. And as you start to breathe, I want you to imagine that your lungs and your chest are expanding more than your belly. You don't want to belly breathe, you want to chest breathe. So you inhale through your nose, expanding your rib cage. So the upper back is against the earth. And then slowly exhale through your nose, closing off the back of your throat. So you feel you hear that aspirin sound in your ears. Like you're pulling the breath up from the deepest, darkest place within you. And then as you exhale, you let a little bit of light in, because it doesn't take a lot of light to dispel a lot of dark. Until you find the rhythm of your breath. I'm committed. The breath is the most important thing. Then release your arms. And draw your right hand towards your chest, giving yourself a hug. Rolling your right ankle. Just really get into those hips, ankles, and see where your knees at. Yeah, we're just checking things out to start. Good. Really draw your right knee in. Now you're going to flex your right ankle and imagine you're stepping your foot away from you as you hold your shin back, getting a nice deep stretch here. Oh, yummy, yeah. But you stay with your breath. Your eyes can be closed. Good. Then release and take your left knee in towards your chest, holding onto your left shin. And just see what it feels like. Where's your knee? Where's your hip? Roll your left ankle. Maybe widening your toes. Good. Give yourself a nice hug here. Where is that most important breath? Then flexing your left ankle, widening your left toes, step your left foot forward as you hold your shin back. Getting, again, a nice connection, a muscular energy in your left hip. Oh, yeah. And release. And then draw your right knee back in. Oh, yeah. Again. Yeah. Exhale. And then inhale, extend your right leg long. Exhale, your left knee in. And inhale. And we're going to do right and left, just like we're doing a very deep march on our back. Warming everything that we can warm there up. So good. Today is hips and adductors. Good. Now draw both your knees in towards your chest. Take your arms to T. And you're going to take your knees over to the right without landing. That's the exhale. I'm going to come back to center, inhale, and you're going to start getting into your core. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. Finding that rhythm, your rhythm. And just start waking up your spine. listening to what she has to say, right? Let's get those back in order here. Good. And then back to center, giving yourself a hug. Cross your ankles, roll back and forth until you come to seated, and then roll all the way through to table pose, hands and knees. So I'm just gonna move back here. Okay, hands under your shoulders, knees beneath your hips, and then into some cats and cows. Inhale, and then exhale to cat, engaging your belly, your pelvic floor. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Then take a few hip circles. I like to do it on my tiptoes to get into my feet. Yeah. Get a nice stretch in your feet. And the other way around. Inhale and exhale. And then back to table. I want you to extend your right leg back behind you, really long, and then you're going to take your right heel back as if you're trying to stand on your foot, your right foot, but you can't. Feel this big stretch in the back of the right shin, and just find a little pulse here, back and forth, and back and forth. And moving with the rate of your breath. Breath, lead the way. Yeah. Good. Now you're going to come onto your right tiptoes and either lift your left shin, or you can lift your left knee up and start to fire up the belly and extend, lift, draw the belly back. Back. Start waking up those core muscles. Maybe just hold on to that for a few breaths. Make sure you keep breathing. That's the name of the game here. And all the way back to center. Now, you're going to take your right leg directly out to the right. Pivot your right toes out to the right. Take your right thigh bone out to the right so that your knee aims directly over the center of your right foot. And roll your left ribs forward. Your right ribs forward, sorry. And then come into your hips. Good. And then back to center and into your hips. Good. Now, while you're at it, why don't you circle your arms up and take your elbows behind you. And inhale up and back. And big inhale. And big exhale. And big inhale. Good. Get into your shoulders. Your shoulders are down your back, right? They're not anywhere near your ears. Get into your right hip. Yeah, getting all that, the gas out, right? Let's take one more. All the way up, find that edge, and all the way back. And then you're going to extend your right leg forward. So I'm just going to move sideways. You shouldn't have to do that. Taking the right outer hip back, soften your chest towards your thigh bone. You might not go that far, and it doesn't matter, right? And stepping into your right foot. Take your shin forward and either circle your arms up or keep your hands on the earth. And then all the way back. But every move you make, you want to come to your edge. How deep can you reach your chest towards your thigh bone? And then inhale all the way up. Oh, yeah. And exhale all the way back. And inhale up. Oh, yeah. And exhale back. And take a few more just like that. And back. Then you're going to step into your right foot. Take your left hand to the earth and make your way into a big twist, rolling your left waist to the right and lean back. Open up your heart. Oh, yeah. Exhale your right hand to the earth and soften your elbows. Inhale all the way up. So you're not rolling just from your upper back, you're rolling from the rib cage. as if your rib cage is a barrel and you're rolling the left waist to the right. Lean back. Exhale, get deep into your hips. Take one more like that. Big inhale. Big exhale, long exhale. And you're going to take your hands. You might want your blocks here. This is really a great place for blocks. And you're going to come into a lunge by lifting your back left knee up and just adjusting the length of your leg so that your right knee is over your right ankle. You don't want it forward. You don't really want it back. You want it just above, right? Now the blocks will keep your spine long, and the blocks can be higher too, right? You find your length. Good. Now you're going to lower your left knee towards the earth, and you're not going to land, and then extend the left inner thigh and lower and extend and lower, firing up that left inner thigh, that left adductor, that thin muscle, and you lower and extend and lower and move with your breath. Exhale, inhale. Good. And as soon as your mind starts to wander, come on back. 8, 7, 6, 5. Good. 4, 3, 2. Last one. Now you're going to shorten your stance by stepping your back foot slightly forward so that you can lengthen both your legs long and your feet are wide as a railroad track. Press your feet down and come all the way up. Good. Inhale and circle your arms up, keeping your right outer hip back. Interlace your fingers behind you. Open your heart. And then as you start to dip forward, keep the right outer hip back. Right outer hip back. And then find a nice length once again in your hamstrings. Now your blocks are there. And if you want to take your hands to your blocks, that's a lovely thing to do. Yeah. Take a few breaths. Exhale your hands to the earth or to your blocks. Take them slightly forward, and you're stepping into your right foot. Lift your left leg all the way up as whatever your all the way looks like, releasing your head and your neck. And step your left foot beside your right. You're into a forward fold. You can keep your hands on your blocks, or you can take your hands to your shins or the floor. Inhale, look halfway up, reach your heart forward and your hips back. Exhale and fold forward. Inhale, look halfway up. Exhale and fold forward. Inhale, look halfway up. Exhale, take your hands to your hips. And then press your feet down, coming all the way up with a long spine. Inhale, circle your arms all the way up. Grab your left wrist and lift. Exhale to the right. Inhale back to center. Grab your right wrist and lift. Exhale to the left. Inhale all the way back up. Big breath. Exhale and fold forward once again. Use your blocks if you like. They're great. Inhale, look halfway up. Now you're going to step all the way to your plank with your knees either up or down, but your shoulder blades are definitely hugged together. Your belly's back. Good. Then you're going to lower your knees. And I want you to roll your thigh bones to the earth, all the way to your pelvis. And then lower your chest last. Lift your palms and roll your shoulder blades down your back. Good. So now your shoulders are down your back, your palms are hovering. Then take your hands to the earth and now make your way into a nice aligned cobra. Good. Now if you're ready for an up dog, feel free. And then make your way right into a down dog. Lovely. And walk your dog. Oh yeah. Check in with your breath. Remember, there's no rush here. Then lower your knees back to the earth. And extend your left leg back behind you, coming onto the tiptoes of your left foot, taking your left heel back. Really reach your heel back like you want to step on the sole of your foot. It's going to be a huge stretch in a very tight area of your body. And bring it all the way into your belly. Yeah. Now, if you want, you can lift your right foot and shin, or you can lift your right knee and find a little pulse here. Make sure it's coming from your belly. Good. And release. Now extend your left leg out to the left, pivoting your left toes out to the left. Good. Got that? Left thigh bone back, left ribs forward, and come deep into your hips. Oh, and back. And oh, yeah, and back. And circle your arms up and behind you and up. Big inhale and back and up, and back and up. Oh, yeah. Back, up. Good. Let's get the gas out of our joints here. All right, we're going to take one more. How deep can you go? How deep can you go? Now extend your left leg forward, and you might want your hands on your blocks here. So I'm going to show you sideways so that my left ankle is flexed. My left hip is really reaching back, and I'm getting a big stretch in the whole back side of my left leg. Soften your chest toward your thigh bone. Good. And once you have that established, you're going to step into your left foot and circle your arms up. Right? And then all the way back. And all the way up. Good. So I always like to spread my toes wide, especially the big toe towards the midline of your body, because that should help those muscles fight bunions. And inhale. Oh, yeah. And exhale. And inhale. Good. Big and tall. Now come back to center, stepping into your left foot. Where's your left knee? Above your left ankle. Take your right hand to the earth and come into that deep twist. Rolling your right ribs to the left, leaning back. Make sure it's edgy. Exhale, take your hands to the earth and soften your elbows. Oh, yeah. And inhale all the way up. And exhale, soften. And inhale. Good. Oh, and exhale. And inhale. Good. Exhale. Let's take one more. See how deep you can get, being really present. In big inhale. Pay attention. Your breath will help you pay attention, right? Now you're going to take your hands to the front of the mat and lift your back right knee up. And you might want to put your hands on blocks. If your back is very rounded, put your hands on blocks like this. And then you're going to lower your right knee and extend the right inner thigh. Exhale. So if you're not exhaling, you're inhaling. And you're going to take a nice amount of time to really wake up your right adductor, your thin inner thigh muscle. Exhale. Good. And 8, 7, 6, good. 5, 4, 3, good. 2, last one. Now you're going to lengthen both your legs long and step your back right foot about a third of the way forward and out towards the right. So both your legs are straight and they're wide. Wide as your, almost as wide as your mat. Press your feet down and come all the way up Keep your left outer hip back, circle your arms up. Make sure the top of your pelvis is back because you don't want to pinch in your low back. Exhale your hands behind your back, lift your heart, and then start to aim your heart towards your left knee as you come deep in that hip flexor and get a big stretch in the hamstrings. Lift your arms up over towards your head or take your hands to the earth, it doesn't matter. Breathing nice and deep into it. Good. Oh yeah, a little balance here too, which is good. Exhale your hands to the earth or to blocks. Take your hands slightly forward. As you step into your left foot, you're going to lift your right leg as high as you like. Getting a nice big stretch here. Yes. Exhale, step your right foot beside your left, back to that forward fold. Both sides now should feel nice and warmed up. Press your feet down. Inhale, circle your arms all the way up. And exhale your palms together to your heart center. And release. Good. Now you're going to take a wide stance. I'm just going to take my blocks back. Good. And I just want you to get into your hips a little bit more here. Just they're nice and warmed up. Good. Good. You're going to take your toes slightly forward. Step your right foot under you, and then your left foot beside it. And then you're going to step out to the left and take off and step back together. Out to the left and step up together. Now you can take your hands to your hips. So you want to make sure your bum sits back. You're sitting back in your bum, and I want you to get those adductors moving. So imagine the legs are magnetized. They want to hug together. And exhale. And exhale. And 4. Good. 3. 2. Last one. All right. And just circle your hips. Circle your hips. Make sure everything feels nice and juicy. All right. Now we're going to do the other side. Out to the right. And back to center. So there's a little bit taking off, but not from your toes. It's from the core. You're sitting back and the core. You're almost flying, right? So you can keep your palms together. You can take your hands to your hips. You can feel that space of time where you're only on one foot, right? Yeah, that's what I want. Because there's a little balancing coming up, right? Of course. Okay, and 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Oh, sit back. Come on back. And shake it out. Good. All right. Come into Utkatasana. We're going to come to the front of our mat. Sitting back. You can take your arms forward. Sit back in that little chair and come up. Just get a few little deep movements here. Big inhale. Exhale. Now circle your arms all the way up, sitting back. Take your palms together, twist to your right. Open up your heart if you like, and stay upright, you know that. Inhale back to center, and exhale to the left. Keep your right outer hip back. Open up your heart. Inhale back to center. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look halfway up. Exhale, now step back to plank and see how you feel about taking a half vinyasa. Good. Oh, yeah. And right into down dog. Oh, yeah. You can walk your dog. I always like to walk it. Just feel where my shin muscles are. Good. Now inhale and lift your right leg all the way up. Good. Exhale, step your right foot forward. Get a nice long lunge here. And circle your arms all the way up. So I'm coming into warrior 1 first. Okay, so you might want
I don't know, you might want a wall. Now you're going to come into a lunge by coming onto the tiptoes of your back left foot. Got it? You got it. Arms up. Now you're going to bend your left knee that's behind you and then extend the left inner thigh. But you're going to stay bent in the front right knee if you can. Okay, so if you need a break, you can always straighten both legs if that feels better. But if you stay with the front knee bent and not past your front right ankle, you'll get a little bit more in the glutes. Good. But you're still firing up that left inner thigh, just like we did before. Good. And 8, 7, 6. It doesn't look as evil on the outside as it feels. 5, 4, 3, 2. Good. Last one. So come back into warrior 1. And now you're going to come right into warrior 2. So I'm going to turn around so you can see me. My right toes out to the right, my right thigh bone back, and my right knee above my right ankle. A nice long spine. Good. Arms to T. Flip your palms up, open your heart. Find some back bend here. Good. Stay deep, stay deep. Ah, yeah. And then flip your palms down. And just take a few breaths here. Good. Then take your hands to your hips, soften both your knees, take your bum back, and then make your way a little bit at a time into your triangle pose. You're going to exhale, roll your right ribs forward, just like we did before. And reach. And lengthen your legs. And reach. And reach. Good. All the way over. Exhale your left hand to the earth. Step back to down dog. Oh, yeah. And then let's come into a child pose. Take your knees to the earth. Wide. Take your big toes together. Let's just take a break here. But in coming back to your breath, you're still working the muscles. Just notice. And then come back through center to table. Checking it out, making sure everything's aligned just right. Shoulder blades are hugged together, your belly's engaged. Lift your knees up, as if your belly's lifting up your knees. Take your hips back. And then slide your sit bones up to the sky, coming back into a down dog. And walk your dog. Excellent. Inhale and lift your left leg up long. Yep. Exhale, take your left foot forward. Inhale, circle your arms all the way up. So you're in warrior 1, and now you're going to come into that lunge. So you're on the tiptoes of your back right foot. You're firing up the right inner thigh. And you're going to take your arms up, right? But now you're going to bend your elbows and bend your back right knee and come back. So when you bend your right knee and extend the right inner thigh, you're extending that right leg as if you're making it longer. You can stay in a bent knee on the left, which is in front of you, and you're going to feel a lot of fire in that left glute. Good. Good. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, good. 3, 2, yeah, last one. And then all the way into warrior 2. Find your warrior 2. Left toes out to the, it feels right when you're aligned right, really it does. So take your shoulder blades down your back, deep. Good. Take a few breaths here. Reaching your right fingertips out to the right to make sure you have a nice long spine. Like somebody's tugging your right hand back. Good. Yeah. Take your hands to your hips. Soften both your knees. Take your bum back. And make your way into a triangle pose on the left. Oh, yeah. Excellent. Ah, yeah. Nice. Nice release, cooked up hips. Good. Exhale. And then inhale, come all the way up, pivoting your feet parallel. And now I want you to fold halfway forward first. Make sure there's a softness in your knees. All your toes are aiming forward. And then continue your descent with your blocks or not. Good, and just get a nice stretch here. Now, while you're here, you're going to take your left hand to your right shin and imagine your feet are glued, they're stuck, and you're pulling them into the midline. You should feel energy from your inner ankles all the way up to your inner thigh into the pelvic floor. And I want you to hold on to that. So you're pressing your hand in, your feet are pressing in, and you're getting a nice deep stretch in the adductors, right? Yeah. A very safe stretch. That's how I like it. Right? Then make your way back through center, and let's do the other side. Take your right hand to your left shin. You're pulling your shin in, you actually are, but your feet are isometrically wanting to meet in the midline, and you're lifting your core, and you're softening a little deeper in your hips, and you're cooking up your inner thighs right into the pelvic floor and into your core, breathing into that big stretch. And release. Inhale, look halfway up. Exhale, take your hands to your hips. Inhale, come all the way up. Heel toe, heel toe, heel toe. Your feet to their hip width apart. And just get a nice circling of your hips. Oh yeah, you should feel nice and tall here too. I want to do one more thing for our hips standing, and I think we're going to do the rest in floor work. Yeah, okay. I want you to take your feet wide into a wide plie, and your knees track over your second toe, right? Come onto the tiptoes of your left foot. Just come a little deeper. Now that releases your hip. Good. And then come onto the tiptoes of your right foot. Yeah. Can you do this and smile? Okay, then do right and left, right and left. Right. Ooh, and left. Exhale. 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 Now you're going to do it on both feet. Stay deep. You'll see this is going to be very helpful. And all the way up. All right. And then bring your feet hip width apart and circle. And circle the other way. All right, so we're going to do a little balancing, which is where you might want to find your wall. You're going to step your right foot forward, take your left foot back. So a wall, a chair, furniture, whatever. You're going to come into a lunge. You're going to lean slightly forward, stepping into your right foot. You have to look at something that's not moving, and I want you to lift your left knee up, engaging your belly. Step your left foot back and come up. Got it? So we're going to do that. You can take your palms out. You can take your palms together. You can circle your arms up, up, and back, up, and back, up, back. Can you feel the end of that breath? Everything warmed up and cooked up. And good. Back, up, back. And balancing, so good for our brains. back, up, back, and step together. Oh, does your left leg feel a little longer than your right? Yeah, okay. So now we're going to step into our left foot and lengthen our right. So make sure you're nice and connected. Step your right foot back. Get a nice, solid foundation, right? You're going to step into your front left foot and lift your right knee up. And it's interesting, you'll see what the different sides of your body are a little bit more challenging for whatever it is you're doing. So exhale, inhale. Exhale to lift up your knee and exhale back. You know, you guys might think this is easy or everyone can do it. Ask your friends to try this. You'd be so impressed. They'd be impressed with you. Okay, let's do about 4 and 3 and 2. That's 1. And back to center. Ooh, yummy. Okay. All right. Widen your feet. We're going to come into our yoga squat. Okay, you know how I feel about squats. You find your way. Everyone's squat's different. Some people sit on a chair and that's their squat, and that's a beautiful squat. So breathe into that. All right, so good. And onto your bum. All right, we're going to do a little bit of core work here because it's always important. I'm going to start with our basics, right? Holding on to your shins, you're going to dip the top of the pelvis back and get right into the pelvic floor there. And if you stay right here, that's all you need to do. If you want to go a little deeper, you can lift your shins. If you want to go deeper, you can extend your arms, or you can take your hands to the mat. Isn't that great? However you choose to do it, this is a very basic pose, boat pose. So you can extend your legs, you can keep your knees bent, and you can find a little tiny pulse as you breathe into it. Exhale, exhale. So because we're women, we want to also be aware of our pelvic floor muscle and engage that also. Good. We usually stay here for about 5 breaths. I think that was about it. Okay. Draw your knees to your chest, give yourself a hug. Okay, now I want you to cross your shins sitting up tall and start to fold forward. Your hips are saying, oh yeah, I can do that, right? And just breathe into it, release your head and your neck. And then all the way back up. Take your feet to the earth, and you're going to roll your pelvis to the earth so that the top of the pelvis leads the way back, and you feel your low back really connected to the earth. And then you feel your shoulder blades walk together to the earth. Okay. So we're going to come into a happy baby thing. So you're going to lift your shins. Good. Lift your knees. Take your arms up to the sky with the back of your shoulder blades back. You're going to extend your left arm back and your right leg forward. Now, if that feels lousy, you can keep your legs right where they're at. You can keep your arms where they're at, but find the part that works for you. So I'm taking my left arm back, my right leg forward. Got that? I'm going to take a few more just to feel it in my brain, right? This is very good for your brains. Now come back to center. Now we're going to take your left leg forward, your right arm back. Okay, so I want you to feel that. Yep. This is all getting into your core. This is very good. Got that, guys? Let's take about 4 more here. 4, 3, 2, last one. All right, Draw your knees to your chest. We will be back here. We will be back. But for now, you're gonna roll onto your right side. And I'm coming into Date the Beach, right? I'm gonna start with my adductors, my right inner thigh, that's the bottom leg. I'm on my right side. Step your left foot forward, or as far forward as you can. I'm gonna grab my left ankle and keep it grounded. But if you can't grab your ankle, grab your shin, right? Now, you're gonna take your bottom right inner thigh and you're gonna fire it up and lift and lower, but you're not gonna land, right? We're not landing. You're firing it up. Exhale. So my toes are wide. My foot is flaunted. Flaunt. You know, you're gonna flex the toes and point your foot. Point. Until you feel a nice fire. So those inner thighs have already been cooked up quite a bit. So this is our last back here on the right. Okay. And 8. Can you still smile? 7, 6, 5, 4, good. 2. Last one. Now you're going to take 8 halfway. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold it up. Hold it up. Oh, and release. And bend your knees and just get a nice little release here. So I want to get into our outer hip. Now your knees are in front of you. You're on your right waist. Your knees are bended almost 90 degrees. Yeah. You're going to lift your left leg up so that it's a mirror of the right and lower. And lift and lower. Yeah. And lift. Yeah. Nice cooked up hips, strong hips. Yeah. We do not want to have hip problems. So let's put this up. Go slowly with your breath. Where is the core work? Where is all the core work that we connected to? Let's find that. Yeah. Good. And 8. Slowly. 7. Notice how slow. 6. 5. Good. 4. 3. 2. Last one. Now let's just take a little break here. Just massage your outer hip. This is towards the end here. But we're doing one more thing here. You're going to lift your left leg up, just where it was before. But this time you're going to tap your top left knee to the right and lift it up. So as you imagine you're reaching your left knee over a ball or something to tap it, you're going to get a little further back in your left hip. I'm just going to do a few of these, right? And 8, 7, 6, 5, yummy, 4, 3, 2, last one. Oh yeah, and shake it out. Come to lying on your back. I'm going to turn around so you can do the other side, but come back to lying on your back, drawing your knees into your chest. Oh, and then take some knee circles. Isn't it amazing how different our hips feel from beginning to end? Okay, good. All right, now you're going to take your hands behind your head and take your knees above your hips, just like you did before. I want you to draw your left knee toward your left elbow towards your right knee and come back to center. And then you're going to do the opposite, back to center. Now you can keep your shoulders on the earth, or you can lift your shoulders as long as it's coming from the core. The top of your pelvis is back. The purpose of your hands is to support your neck, not to push. No pushing. Yeah, I feel like I'm talking to the kids. No pushing. Okay. And extend. Extend. Top of the pelvis back. If you exhale, you'll get deep into the diaphragm, will help you get into your core muscles. So exhale. You might want to exhale through your mouth. All right, let's count to 8. And 8 and 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2. Last one. Oh, nice. All right, once again, draw your knees to your chest. And I like to shake out my low back and make sure everything's nice and shook out. And now I'm going to come onto the left side of my body. Coming on to my left. Guys, got it? Step your right foot in front of you and you can grab the top of your right ankle or your right shin. And you're going to fire up your left inner thigh because you're directly on your outer hip, right? And lift and lower without landing. Exhale. Getting into the core. Exhale. Notice how it gets into your core. When you're conscious and you put the effort in, it makes a difference. Just with everything else, just like everything else, right? Now let's count. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Now you're going to take 8 little pulses halfway down and up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold it, hold it, hold it. And release. Oh, did you feel that in your adductors, your inner thighs? I hope so. All right, still day at the beach. Your knees are in front of you. Your thigh bones are at 90 degrees from your pelvis. And you're going to lift your right leg up. It's a mirror of the left, and you're going to lower. And lift and lower. Oh, yeah, and lift. You're getting all the gas out of there. But if you breathe into it, the breathing has a fluid quality that keeps it oiled up, like the Tin Man, right? Oiling it up. Exhale and inhale. Do you feel that fire? Let's take a few more. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. All right, release, just release your hips. Yeah. All right, now we're going to do where you lift your leg and imagine you're tipping the right knee over something to tap the left and come back up. So there's that little tipping motion. Your right foot, your right shin stays pretty high. And you tap. Notice how you get a little further back in your hips. And you tap. And you lift. And you tap. And lift. And tap. And lift. And 8. And 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. Yeah, you should feel that fire there. Last one. And all the way back onto your back. Good. Draw your knees to your chest. We'll do there we go. All right, roll back and forth, coming up to seated. And now I want you to take your opposite shin, that is your natural shin, forward. So for me, it's my left shin is forward. I'm going to take my arms to goalposts. My shoulder blades are down my back, right? That means my ears are far from my shoulders, right? And I'm simply going to take my forearms together and open it up so that my forearms are back, swooping your heart forward, right? I want you to do the same. Exhale and inhale. Oh, exhale. And inhale, open it up. And exhale. And open it up. Ah, yeah. Get deep into those upper back muscles. And open it up. Oh. So there's a little back bend here. When you open it up from the bottom of the shoulder blades, scooping your heart forward, and that's why you're looking slightly up. It's coming from the back of your heart. And 4. And 3. Yep. And 2. Last 1. Way up. Extend your arms up. Take your right hand to the earth. Reach all the way over to the right. Keeping your left hip grounded. Come back to center, taking your left elbow behind you. And all the way over to the right. And over. Back. Good. Let's take a few more here. Over. Back. Over. And back. And all the way back to center, noticing the 2 sides of your body. And everything's about noticing, being mindful. Take your left hand to the earth, reach all the way over to the left, keeping the right hip rounded, and all the way back to center, elbow behind you, and all the way over. To center. Over. A few more. Be nice length. Oh yeah. I'm just going to stretch everything out now. Yeah. Last one. And back to center. Circle your arms up. Take all that length. Press your thigh bones to the earth to lift up and then twist to your right. Get a nice twist looking over your right shoulder. Now, keeping the twist, I want you to look to your left and dip your chin down toward your shoulder blade and get a nice stretch into the right side of your neck, breathing nice and full into that. All right. Inhale back to center. And twist to your left, looking over your left shoulder. Get a nice deep twist. Now you're going to look to your right and dip your chin towards your collarbone. Getting a nice stretch on the left side of your neck. And all the way back to center. Go ahead, come back with your legs nice and long. Lengthening your legs long, good. Now you're gonna take your arms forward, take the back of your pelvis back. So you're gonna feel your back of your pelvis roll to the earth, top of the pelvis, back belly engage, and take your arms up over your head. Big inhale, exhale. We're gonna roll 1 vertebra at a time, all the way up, engaging your belly, getting a nice stretch here. Doesn't matter how far your hands go, doesn't matter. And then all the way back, inhale. Oh yeah. Last one, just making sure our spine is nice and stacked all the way up. Oh yeah. Oh. Good. Bend your knees, take your feet to the earth. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Take your left knee in towards your chest, grabbing the back of your left thigh bone or your left shin. Take your right knee, thigh bone away from you. Get a nice stretch here. Oh yeah.
Breathing into it. Good. And extend your left leg nice and long, getting a nice stretch in the back of the left leg now and your right hip. Good. So I'm pressing my thigh bone in toward me. And release. Good. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh, opening up the left hip. Take your right hand towards you, grabbing the back of your right thigh. So you're going to interlace your fingers behind your right thigh or your right shin. You get a nice stretch here. Breathing into it, close your eyes. Now, extend your right leg nice and long. Pressing your thigh bone in and a nice resistance. So lengthening the right leg. Good, a nice tone, a stretch in the left hip. Good. And bend your knees in toward your chest. Take your arms to T, drop your knees to the right. One last twist, rolling your rib cage to the left, close your eyes, and notice your breath. Inhale through center, drop your knees to the left. Close your eyes and just take some deep breaths. Inhale back to center. Take your arms beside you, palms up, walking your shoulder blades together. I like to lift and shake out my hips, rolling my pelvis to the earth. Good. Then take a big inhale, big through your nose. And then slowly exhale through your mouth as you release your legs long and wide of the mat. And imagine you're a balloon that you let all the air out. And you're melting into the earth just for 2 minutes. And take rest.
Start rolling your wrists and your ankles. Inhale, extend your arms up over your head. Exhale through your mouth. Draw your knees to your chest. Roll to your right side and just be there for a moment. And then make your way to a seat on your mat, bringing your palms together to your heart center. Remembering this place of peace and light within. And when things get a little dark, or a lot dark, a little light, a little peace, coming to this space will bring me back. The light in me honors that light in you. Namaste. Mwah. Love you guys. Let me turn off the recording. I can figure out how to do that.